Hi everyone, I'm Jodi. Welcome to my channel. I'm really glad that you're here today. And if you are new, you've picked a great time to check out this channel because today is Friday Face Off, where we take two highly beloved products and we do a face-off, face-to-face challenge to see which one truly is worth your time and your financial investment. And sometimes both of them test out okay, and sometimes neither one of them test out well at all. Today's Friday face-off, we are looking at putty primers. Now, if you've been in the market for a primer, you know that primers can come in a lot of different formulas, from putties, like the two that we have today, to powders, to gels, to liquids, to lotions. They are all over the market. Now, whether you have oily skin, dry skin, combination skin, or more normal skin, whatever that means, there is more than likely a primer specific to your skin and your skin needs. And not everyone likes to wear a primer, but if you have oily skin, a mattifying primer is really a good choice for you. If you have more enlarged pores, which is something that I know I start to suffer with as I've gotten older, then a putty primer, think of it almost as Bondo or putty when you're trying to cover up a nail hole on the wall. It works the same way. It's fabulous when you find the right formula that works for your skin. And there are primers that help hydrate your skin if you find that your skin gets dry throughout the day. So whatever challenge you're facing, whether you wear no makeup, a moisturizer, a tinted moisturizer, or a face serum, or even a full coverage foundation, in most cases you can apply a primer underneath that base. Today we're going to apply putty primers, and then we're going to apply a foundation and go on about our day. There's a lot of different primers out there, but the two that we see a lot of reviews, very positive reviews, that I wanted to see what all the hype was about is the Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer and the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. Now let's take a look at both of these in greater detail. They are both putty primers. The consistency of the Tarte is a spongy type consistency. It's very bouncy, I would say. It feels like putty. It doesn't seem to gum up or ball up when you put it on with your foundation, and you can see the smoothing effect that it has right away. On the e.l.f. side, this is a creamier formula. Although they call this the Putty Poreless Primer, I don't find it to be nearly as putty feeling in texture as the Tarte or the Silk Canva by Tatcha, which is another one of my favorites. That one is more like the Tarte in its consistency of the formula. The e.l.f. is a little bit more smoothing to go on, but yet it still has that filling of your pores sensation to it without feeling like you've clogged your pores. So by and large, the formula on both is very similar. What's not similar is the price point. The Tarte comes in two sizes. One is 0.5 ounces for $39, and it comes in a travel size, which is 0.25 ounces for $19. It is cruelty-free and it is vegan. On the e.l.f. side, this large dish comes in 0.74 ounces, so almost 25% more. I can't get the lid on. Almost 25% more than the larger Tarte, and this one is $10. And even the travel size of this one is $19 for 0.25 ounces, where again, this one is $10 for 0.74 ounces. So you get quite a bit more product in the e.l.f. than you do in the Tarte. Now, in terms of packaging, the Tarte comes with a see-through lid, a little bit of gold embroidered around the edge, and a glass dish, frosted glass around the side. And so yes, it looks pretty. I don't keep my primer out on my counter, so I don't really care aesthetically how it looks. I care how it works and how much it costs. The e.l.f. is not unpleasant looking packaging. It's a little bit larger of a size. In terms of width, they're the same amount of width. So if you did carry your primer with you, it's not like you couldn't carry this because it's a little bit larger. It's lighter in packaging because it's a plastic and plastic lid, and the product uses the majority of the packaging to fill it, where the Tarte uses much more of the packaging to be frosted glass. So there's that. The Tarte marketing says that it extends your makeup wear, it blurs and it brightens your skin, and is said to improve the look of your pores. It contains vitamin E and vitamin C. e.l.f. comes in cruelty-free and vegan as well. It also has squalane in it, which helps hydrate the skin and help protect your skin from moisture loss, as well as helps to grip the makeup. Both claim to be perfect for all skin types. e.l.f. does have a few different formulas, one that's a mattifying formula for those of you that have more oily skin, and one for acne prone skin. Now, e.l.f. also markets it as the only primer that you need to cover your eyelids as well as your lips, in addition to the rest of your face, where Tarte does not claim to do that, but we're gonna put them both to the test to see if one primer for $10 can be our all and our everything. And wouldn't that be lovely? So not only am I gonna go through the application process with you in those 3 key areas, but I'm gonna do a 6-hour check-in so we can see how well they hold up to these marketing promises. So if you are ready to see how these 2 products face off in today's Friday Face Off, let's get started. So here's what my skin looks like before we start this process. I'm using less than a dime size on both sides because I'm only doing half my face, so that would be unfair if we used a full amount on half the face. Maybe it would work better, maybe it worked less, I don't know, I just want to stick with the recipe as described. So again, smoothing it with my fingers to get it nice and warm, and we're gonna zoom you guys in so you can really see and press that in. We'll go on the eyelids and on the chin and the lips. So now that we have the primer on both sides and we've let it set for about 2 minutes, I'm gonna go in with foundation. And today I'm gonna grab my House Labs by Lady Gaga. This is a nice light foundation. I really enjoy it. I enjoy it because it's not too heavy, but it gives good coverage. And it has a lot of different shades, and it is a price point that I love, which I think is like $45. So we'll add some foundation everywhere. This is such a pretty foundation. It's quickly becoming one of my favorites. Now, when I zoom you in, one of the things that I noticed right off the bat is that my pores are still there, but they're not stealing the show. You don't see them first, and I think that's the same on both sides. All of these products were just freshly applied, so to me, the real test will be how do they look in about 6 hours or so, which we're gonna find out. So now let's go in just a little bit of concealer because I need some, and we'll put that right on top of our eyelids. And I'm gonna go back with that same brush just because I wanna lighten that area up a little bit. And I wanna have a nice smooth platform for because if you're gonna claim to be an eyelid primer, which again, e.l.f. does, Tarte doesn't, then you have to be able to work with both our cream and our powder eyeshadows because we need choices, and we need one primer to work for all, which is what I loved about e.l.f.'s marketing. It claimed that one primer is all you need to do everything, and I love that. And if that one primer is 10 bucks, then that is a win. And if it works as good as it claims, then we need to tell everybody that we know. Well, first tell everybody to watch this video, and then tell them that they need to buy the primer after the video. I'm gonna put a little bit of powder eyeshadow right through the crease on both sides. Now, right off the bat, you guys, I'm noticing that as I'm applying eyeshadow on top of that primer on both the Tarte side as well as the e.l.f. side, I feel as though the brush is gliding more smoothly. I'm using the Too Faced Natural Matte Palette, and it does apply nicely anyway, but I do feel like the color is going on very smooth. It's very easy to blend, more so than without that primer on both sides actually. So that's a nice benefit. They both look really pretty so far, so good. The color is not any more intense than normal, and you can see how those went on. I'm gonna grab just a little bit of a darker color for that darker corner because my shirt has lots of fun colors in it today. I'm gonna grab this darker color because I need something in the corner. Now my eyelids don't get excessively oily throughout the day, but they do get oily. So if this e.l.f. Poreless Primer works and you have really oily eyelids, then that mattifying one might be a good option for you. But let's see how this one works after like 6 hours before we make that determination, because I don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. But it certainly feels as though my makeup is going on much more smoothly on both sides. I hope they last as long as how smooth they're going on. Does that make sense? Yeah, kind of. And then just to add a touch of light, I'm gonna go right underneath my eyebrows and then the corner of the eyes. This is kind of a tutorial, get ready with me, Friday Face Off, all of it, all in one. But I'm just glad to be back visiting with you guys. I know shorts are everything. Shorts are what the YouTube algorithm wants us to be doing as creators, and they promote those videos first. So you'll notice that as shorts have become more popular according to YouTube, then those of us that do more long form videos, we're not growing as much. Our videos are not being pushed out to new people that might be interested in that type of a video. And it's so frustrating because to do a long form video, takes a lot of time, and I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying that the growth is slower if you do the longer videos, if you're a smaller channel. So I thank you guys for being patient with me. I'm just trying to find the balance between long form videos where I feel like we're connecting, even though it's a virtual world and we're not really able to connect in real time, but you know, I do put the video out and you guys do communicate back. So from that perspective, I love, love, love that. And I miss that if I'm only doing shorts. But the channel has to grow because it is my career. So I'm trying to find the balance between what I love doing, which is making videos for you guys, and doing what YouTube wants me to do because they control how my video gets pushed out to new people. So thank you for being patient. To really test both of these primers on the eyes, I'm going to add a little bit of cream eyeshadow, and I'm using the Hourglass Voyeur, and this is in color Moon. And I'm just gonna apply it on my fingers. That's isn't that a pretty color? It's just a really light, I mean, I guess Moon is a good way. It's a really light gold color. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that right in the corner, and we're gonna give it a go. Hourglass Cream Eyeshadow is a new product for me, and I really love it. Okay, so there we have cream on both eyes, powder on both eyes. So I'm gonna finish my eyeliner and my mascara off camera. So now that both primers have been on my lips for a couple minutes, I have to say that this side where the Tarte primer has been applied feels a little bit dry, almost tight on my lip. Now, again, Tarte does not claim to be a primer for the lips, but at $39, if e.l.f. can be a primer for the lips at $10, then I would think Tarte should as well. But it is a little uncomfortable. It's more dry. The e.l.f. side, I don't feel it at all. I wouldn't even know that I had something on my lips had I not been applying it in the mirror and knowing that it's there. So we're gonna go ahead and apply lipstick to both. Now I am applying a lipstick that wears very well, does not dry my lips for hours. So in 6 hours, if this side is really dry, I will know it was from this primer and not from these lipsticks that we're gonna wear. So I carefully chose lipsticks that have not been drying in the past so that we can't blame the lipsticks if the lips feel dry, and hopefully they don't, because it'd be great if you like Tarte. If you could find one primer that did everything, that would be awesome. I'm gonna use the Dior 220. I highlighted this week in my Dior dupes. It is such a pretty lipstick. And I'm gonna apply it with a brush because I really want it to get in there and last all day. To finish the lips, I'm going to use Alter Ego's Utopia. This is a little bit of a darker mauve color, but I just want to go in and create a little bit of an ombre look. And I just want to apply that darker color to the outer corners so that the center of my lips are a lighter color, which just gives a more plump look to the lips without being so obvious. Well, there's our application review, and I will be curious to see how both of these products wear at the 6 hours, 7 hours, somewhere in that time frame mark. It does appear to me, just from this standpoint, right in this area where I do have larger pores, I don't necessarily see those pores when I don't have on makeup. Whenever I apply makeup, whether it's with a primer or without a primer, my pores on both sides are a little bit more emphasized. However, today with that e.l.f., it does feel like this side is a little bit more emphasized with the appearance of larger pores. And I don't see that with this foundation and with the normal skincare routine that I applied today. So the only difference in my makeup application today are the primers on both sides. So I won't apply any more lipstick today, and I won't do anything with my eyes. So we will see how these hold up in about 6 to 8 hours. Hello, hello. So here we are 6.5 hours later. It's been like less than a second for you guys, but it has been a long day. So let's see how these two primers are holding up. I have not taken a good look at them because I wanted to have a first impression with all of you, and let's just start at the eyes and work our way down. As a reminder, here's Tarte. You guys don't need a reminder. It's been like a second for you. It's been 6 hours for me, so forgive me for saying that, but let's just move on. So on terms of the eyeshadow, if I close my eye, and yeah, I cannot wink with both eyes, so we're gonna not be able to do this at the same time. And if I did, I couldn't see, so there's that. So on this eye, which was the Tarte, the color still looks really, really vibrant. There is just a little bit of creasing right through here. However, that is less than I would normally get had I not used an eyelid primer. I was outside today. It was about 85. I did work up a little bit of a sweat, but not for long. I'm really impressed with how that eye is holding up. Taking a look at the e.l.f. side, it does look like there is also creasing right through here. On both eyes, there's just a little bit of creasing right through here where we placed that cream eyeshadow. Now, where we placed the powder eyeshadow on both eyes, the colors are still bright and vibrant in those areas, and it doesn't seem like much color has faded at all. I typically get more creasing than this from my eyeshadows. Both primers have definitely helped with the creasing, especially of the powder. Let's take a closer look so you guys can be the judge. Now let's take a look at right through here in this area. I'm really impressed that my face does not look shiny and my pores do not look accentuated. But most important, you guys, that I'm really excited about is that there is no settling right through here after 6 hours. That hardly ever happens. Again, I was outside and it was hot. So to not have the foundation, and the foundation that I used, again, the House Labs by Lady Gaga, it does do some settling, but I don't see any settling on either side, the Tarte side or the e.l.f. side. So both of these primers get a thumbs up for blurring that pore area and helping that foundation really stay locked in place and not settle and crease around my nose. So moving up to the forehead where I'm more oily, for those of you that have oily skin, it doesn't appear as though the oil has broke through on either side. Neither side of my forehead appears more shiny. In fact, if I was to just touch it, I don't have a bunch of oil slick on my hand, which sometimes is the case. The foundation that I wore is a Radiant Finish foundation, and I would say that with the help of those primers, that foundation has stayed in place all day and no shine has broke through. So last, let's move on to the lips. And again, e.l.f. claims to be that one primer that you need, where Tarte does not mention lips and eyes in their marketing, but we put them both to the test. And if you look up close, I have not reapplied any makeup today. I have had lunch, I've been drinking bottled water all day, and I don't think my lipstick has worn off on one side or the other. The Dior lipstick that I wore, I do wear often. And after 6 hours and eating, it does not stay on this well. It definitely wears a long time, but for it to look almost as good this much later as it did when I applied it is pretty impressive. Now, I love that because I love this color and it's very expensive. So if I don't have to keep reapplying this throughout the day and I can get a longer wear out of one application, then that makes this lipstick a little more easy to accept the price. Maybe, I'm not sure, but it's pretty. So that is where we are with these two primers. If you love a primer, and even if you haven't worn a primer before and you're considering it, I would have to steer you in the direction of the e.l.f. And here's why. The price point for almost the exact same product performance is a no-brainer. The fact that with the e.l.f. you can also get a mattifying primer as well as a primer if you have acne-prone skin. So I love the fact that not only do we know that the primer works, but that there are different formulas to address the type of skin you have so that when you apply your foundation or your lipstick or your eyelids, you are taken care of. So while I think Tarte is a good product with beautiful packaging, I think e.l.f. is an excellent product, very creamy, with a nice variety for different skin tones, and the price point makes this one a hands down winner for me. Well, that does it for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this Friday face-off. We are getting into summer, so you best believe we are going to start doing some Friday face-offs with some summer products. Self-tanners maybe some BB creams. You know it's all coming up, so don't miss any of those episodes on Fridays. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the Friday face-offs or any of the other fun videos that come out every Tuesday and Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I'll see you guys again real soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.